What is up, guys? Jeremy here, and welcome back to another tweak review. We're taking a look at a super powerful tweak, and it is Springtomize 4. Now, I haven't covered this tweak in a long time, probably since like iOS 8 or something like that, but I did want to cover it again just because it is super powerful. It's probably the amount of about 50 tweaks in one tweak, which is absolutely insane. And there's some cool stuff that you can do with it. Like I have the 5 icon dock here. You have animated page scrolling effects, which looks really cool. And there's just a ton of stuff you can do with it, and I wanted to go over it all for you guys in this video. But anyways, we can jump into the settings here, and I am in the settings for Springtomize 4, as you guys can see there. Pretty straightforward from this first page here. You have your enabled on-off switch for the tweak. Love tweaks that do that. And then you have all of your different sections here for the different things that you can tweak out on your device, which is pretty cool. You got your animations, app switcher, control center. This is a very in-depth tweak. Like I said, guys, there's a lot you can do. So I guess we'll just go through each section here, and I'll kind of show you what it all is. So you do have a custom speed. Change the speed of springboard animations. I do have mine bumped up just a little bit. It's almost not noticeable, but it is a little bit quicker than stock. And then you do have a lock animation option, which is really cool. I'll go ahead and show you guys that. I'm using the old TV. There's a few different ones you can choose from: blur, explode, old TV, slide away, slide left to right. There's a lot you can do. I'll show you guys what the old TV looks like. I think it looks really cool. Kind of takes me back to the jailbreak back in the day, because that was a thing that I used a lot, was that old TV tube kind of shutdown animation. The next section here is page scroll animations. That's what I'm using, the cube outside. And as you guys can see, there's a ton here. It's kind of like barrel built in, so it's really cool that it comes packed with that. We can do fade in place. I'll show you guys. That's what that looks like. There's just a ton to choose from. So if this is a tweak that you do want, like I said, guys, there's a lot to play around with. Let's go back to the cube outside. I really like that one. And then you do have the ability to use the old screenshot. So if you want to take a screenshot, it just does the flash and it took it. It doesn't do the annoying bring the screenshot down to the corner and then you got to move it out of the way or accept it. It's just take a screenshot. That's it. I really like that. You do have the ability to change the screenshot color as well. So if you want it to be like purple or something like that, you can change it. So next up is the app switcher. You can hide the icons, the labels, you can change the font size, you can resize the percentage, and then you also have options for the inactive apps. You can make them blur, darken, or you can even hide them. So a few options for the app switcher. Control center, you can actually disable control center if you don't use it. You can use a custom background, which is pretty neat, and then you can hide the different sections that you don't want to use. Like if you wanted to change do not disturb, you could disable that. I know you can do it from settings, but it's cool that you can do it from the tweak. Next up is the dock section. So I did use Springtomize to hide my dock. You can put the dock on the very top, which is crazy, and then you can hide the dock from the springboard. So if you don't want a dock on your device, you can actually use this tweak to completely remove it, which is pretty cool. I know some of you guys like to make your device look incredibly simple and not even have a dock, just a few apps in the middle, and you can use Springtomize to do that. Next up is the folders section here. You have the ability to create folders inside of folders. I'll actually enable that because I like being able to do that. You can lock the folder names so they can't be changed. You can hide the folder titles if you want to make it more simple. You can use a pinch to close gesture to close out of the folder. You can close the folder on the launch of an application, so that way when you exit that app, you're not in the folder anymore. You can use a custom background, or you can hide the background, or you can make it a dark background. And then you do have an unblurred icon, so do not blur the background of the icon, so it'll just be the 9 applications with no background. And then you do have the option for a fast open and close folder, which is pretty cool. The next section here is the icons. This gets pretty in-depth here. There's a lot you can do with this. I prefer using Boxy to resize my icon layout, but you can use Springtomize to do this. So you do have dock options for resizing. So as you can see, you can resize, you can hide the labels, you can choose how many icons you want. I have mine set to 5. I like having 5 icons in my dock. And then you do have your horizontal padding and your side inset. So it's going to be the spacing in between those applications. So full control over that. You can have a cover flow effect if you want that neat kind of looking effect. You can have it inverted. Let's go ahead and enable that, and then I'm gonna do a respring just to show you guys how cool the respring looks with Springtomize as well. So we'll do a respring. It's got a really nice blur, and then we'll respring our device, and then I'll go back in and show you guys the cover flow effect of the docked icons. So we'll go ahead and get back in here, and as you can see, it has that really cool looking cover flow effect, fully adjustable with Springtomize 4. Such an awesome tweak. Let's go back in here. We were in the icons, so that was the dock section. You do have factors and perspectives, so you can change the cover flow effect. You can make it more extreme or less subtle, however you want to customize it. Same thing for the folders here. You can resize the icons. You can hide the labels. You can choose how many columns and rows are in those folders. You have vertical padding, horizontal padding, the side inset, so you can basically adjust the way those icons sit in that folder however you want. And you even have a cover flow effect for that as well, which is cool. And then the cover flow effects down at the bottom for factor and perspective. Page settings, same thing, guys. Full control over it. You got icon resizing, so if you want your icons to be smaller on your springboard, you can resize it. You can hide your labels. You got the amount of columns and rows, so you can have a different layout. You don't have to have it 4x6, which I have. You could have it be like 5x5 or 5x4 or 3x3, however you want to set up those icons on your springboard. You do have vertical padding. It's basically full control like Boxy, except for you have to do it within the settings. I just like the way that Boxy is set up, that you can just bring up these settings just like that. But keep in mind, you can do this with Springtomize 4. So if you guys wanted an all-in-one tweak, you could just go with Springtomize and eliminate a couple other tweaks just by getting this. Same thing, cover flow effect, factor, and perspective. You have the ability to sort all of your applications alphabetically. You can read about that if you want. It'll sort them all alphabetically. Once you do that, though, if you want to rearrange them again, you'll have to do it manually. It will not revert back to your original setup for the springboard. You can hide the updated dots. You can hide the newly installed dot, the beta dot. You can lock the layout. You can disable wiggling when you put your icons in the wiggle mode. You can disable applications from being uninstalled. You can hide the badges. You can hide badge text. I enabled that. I just wanted it to be a little dot, but for some reason it didn't seem to work, so it might be coming into conflict with a different tweak that I have installed. I'm not too sure. You have badge colors, so custom background color, custom text color, so if you wanted to adjust the color, you can do that. You have an icon image effect, apply different effects to icon images, and then change to transparency of icon images, so you have the ability to use an image if you wanted like a little a little icon instead of the little bubble with a number. You could do that. You have icon labels here, custom color, the font size, and then you can use a custom font type. You have the ability to hide any application on your device. So if you wanted to hide FaceTime, you could just enable that, and that will hide the application. So if you guys are looking to hide apps, you can use this as well. And you can disable the live clock from the clock app as well. I'm not sure why you'd really want to do that. The only thing I can think of is maybe it would save a little bit of battery. I'm not too sure, but you do have the ability, which is pretty cool. You have lock screen options here. You can hide a bunch of items, the camera, the today view, now playing. You can disable the flashlight on the 10, 10R, 10S, 10S Max. You have label styles here. You can change the color of the lock screen clock, the date. You have the ability to change the font size, so if you want to make the clock bigger, and then you do have a time style, and you can do the same thing for the date there as well. So full control over that clock, pretty neat. Next up is the notification center. You have the ability to disable notification center completely. You can have a background color, so if you wanted it a specific color, you could do that. No notifications label font size, so you can change the font size of no notifications. You can hide that label, which actually I'm going to do because I hate having it there. Or you can input, custom text if you want, and then you can change the blur strength of notification notification center as well, so you can make it more blurry or less blurry, however you want to, set it up. And then you have the today view here. You can hide the edit button, And then going down, we got pages, so you can hide the page dots, you can disable spotlight, you can disable the search, you can return to first page, so return to the first Springboard page when locking your device. So once you lock it, it'll always be on the first page. I'll actually enable that as well, I like that. And then you can prevent rotation, so that would actually be nice on my device since I can rotate it. And it actually looks really goofy when you rotate it and you're using Boxy 3 and you have it all resized. It just doesn't really work that well, so I'm actually going to enable that as well. And then you can disable the parallax effect with your background wallpaper, so if you want to save some more battery, I'm sure that would save a little bit. And then you do have a custom blur radius for the search background as well, so when you pull down to search, you can make it more blurry or less blurry. Full control. Next up is the status bar. This allows you to hide a bunch of different items. You can input a custom carrier. You have a custom time mode here. So you have custom text. You could use your IP address, your Wi-Fi SSID, lowercase AM/PM symbol, no AM/PM, or display your free RAM on your device. So pretty cool that you can edit that. The next section here we have the display seconds. So if you want seconds to be displayed in that clock, you can do that. You can disable breadcrumbs if you guys don't like using it. And then here's all the different items that you can hide from that status bar. I'm actually hiding the location there, and that's pretty much all I'm using, the ability to hide right now. Now that's pretty much it for the status bar. Now this next part is profiles. Now this is really interesting. This can allow you to set up a custom profile. So let's say you have a certain setup that you like to use. You can actually create a profile, and we'll just call it new. And then you can save that profile. So basically in new, all of the settings that I have adjusted with Springtomize 4 are saved in that profile. So if I wanted to quickly switch back and forth between different setups, I can do so by creating these profiles. I think that that's a really nice touch for those of you that have certain setups, certain themes, all that. So you like it a certain way, you can switch between those, switch between all the different settings of Springtomize 4, and it's really quite robust if you ask me. So like I said, guys, this is probably at least 30 to 50 different tweaks all rolled into one tweak. It's incredibly powerful, and it allows you to make your device look pretty damn awesome. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll leave the information for Springtomize 4 down in the description. Also, if you guys have any questions or are curious about any of the other tweaks that I do have on my device, I have covered pretty much everything at this point. I'll leave a playlist link in the description for all of my tweak videos on iOS 12. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely throw me a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot here at the channel. And if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to click that subscribe button. This has been Jeremy, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.